website, which was Children of the Dump, and that was out of Seattle, Washington, and Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, where the cruise ships pulled into. And tourists learned that there are hundreds, maybe even thousands of kids who sustain their families by living on the dump. The garbage trucks would pull in, and they would scavenge through the garbage for clothing, discarded clothing, building materials, scraps of food. So when the kids learned about this, these are 6th, 7th, and 8th graders at Eisenhower Middle School, and we decided, what can we do? Well, that was an established charity, and these kids were just starting out as new Rotarians, young Rotarians. So we invited Jeff Boucher in to speak. Jeff came in and talked about his travels to Juarez, Mexico, and that he had experienced something very similar. Kids don't go to school there. Kids wake up in the morning, and from the age of about 7 or 8 years old, they're out on the street. And mom is left home to raise the younger children, typically 7, 8 kids in a family, sometimes single parent, many times single parent. So Jeff traveled back to Juarez, came back with a video. And in that video, there was a young lady, Blanca, who he ultimately adopted. I traveled down to Mexico with him after we had a fundraiser at the Eisenhower Middle School Club, a SUDS package. We brought that down. We stayed at an orphanage down there, and that's where I met Maria. And Jeff and Chris Boucher ultimately adopted Blanca, and we brought her back to New Jersey, and now she's at Coastal Carolina University doing well. But I look at Rotary as a launching pad. It's a launching pad of good ideas. People come to the Rotary Club meetings with their ideas, they share their ideas, and those ideas often are launched into reality. And here's a case where an idea, started by 6th, 7th, and 8th grade kids, God bless them, was launched into reality. And today, the James R. Ganley School exists in Juarez, Mexico. And it was directly related to those kids. And those kids are now in college and beyond. And they had no idea what their original idea actually became. So Maria's here, she's the administrator of the school. She's going back to Mexico tomorrow morning. She's got 5 students with them, but they didn't want to get up this morning. They're 12 years old. And I'd like Maria to talk a little bit about the school. By the way, the architect was Jeff Wells, the brother of our Rotary governor. Many of the other Rotary clubs got involved back at that time. And many of them are still involved today, including this club, who continues to sponsor a student, at least one student every single year, to attend that school. So Maria, I'm going to stop talking. Go ahead.
Well, good morning. My name is Maria Garcia, and my family and I have been missionaries in the Colonia Confesión Mexicana in Juarez, Mexico, for over 15 years. And we first started doing just weekly Bible studies and collecting clothing for the co-op, and during this first couple of years, the Lord showed us how great that He was for something more in the community than once or twice a week. So we started, there was a vicious cycle of poverty in this community, uneducated parents, unable to find jobs meant that they could not provide for the children to finish school either. So we began to help adults continue their elementary and middle school education. And as I and a high school student from the community itself, we started teaching these parents. After 3 years, we began to see even a bigger need. Well, we had many parents coming, elementary schools in the area still underserved the community in many ways. I mean, it's public school. And I mean, I could tell you horror stories about education in Mexico. But after partnering with another ministry, which Touch the World came over, and other ministries that globally there, and from our church in El Paso, we began to do the construction of the James R. Ganley, and that was in 2005. And throughout these years, we have seen the growth. We just celebrated our 10th year as a school. I had a DVD, but I apparently can't play it. But I'm nervous, but I know all my kids. But I want to just give you a few facts. 165 of our parents have finished elementary and middle school. That's a big accomplishment.
I'm sorry.
165 in the 10 years.
Congratulations.
That's just that they got it, but some of them did not know how to read and write. So that process is in there. We're really proud of our kids. Our kids do community service 2 hours a month on a Saturday. All our kids from kinder to 6th grade. It has to be part of their life. It has to be, we want to show them that maybe they can't give financially or otherwise. They have little hands, little feet, and their ability to give. So we have, in the 10 years, they've given more than 95,000 volunteer hours. Wow. And it's just tremendous because they learn that they take care of their community, their community will grow and be better. 15 years ago, our community was made out of pallets, houses, black paper. Now we have houses made of block and wood and construction. So it's been growing. We have served more than 250,000 meals at the school in the 10 years and growing. And this is not, we're not just serving the kids that go to the school. We're serving the whole family. Our parents have to volunteer 5 hours a week. And I don't know the number in my mind clearly, but I think it's like 195,000 hours of volunteer hours. The parents do. They come in, they help prepare meals, they help take care of the kids, whether they're serving their meals, they take care of them while they're in the restroom. The restroom there's teaching to be done, how to use the paper, how to wash their hands, how to take care of themselves. We also do that. Our parents also have to not only get educated, but once they finish elementary, junior high, then we have parenting classes. Now we have parents actually teaching, the own parents in school teaching the parenting classes to other parents. This is what we want. We have parents or moms that now they're helping in the office and the part of the administration and the running of the day-to-day and things that I don't have to do myself. There's parents who, so they're learning, they're growing, and if our parents are growing, our students are growing. And since we celebrate 10 years, our first group that just graduated from high school, which is a big accomplishment. And right now, we're so elated because 2 of those students, which are girls, which is very odd, the girls will continue to go to school. They're registered in college, so they're going to college. In August, one of them is already doing pre-classes right now in summer. So in August, they will be going to college, 2 of our girls. All our 14 that graduated. So, we have been thankful to you throughout the years of you sponsoring our kids, and I just wanted you to know what a difference it makes. And invite you to ever want to go visit, you're welcome to go. I know there's fear because of the violence, but there's violence by way of the east, we're on the west side of the town, and we really never had any problems. My family and I lived there, even throughout those violent years. We were safe. We didn't move back to Texas or anything. We've been really blessed in our community that we've been really protected. We have never been bothered by anybody, though we have a school that has a couple of stores. Yes, sir.
So Juarez is close to El Paso?
Yes, it's right across the board from Paso, Texas. Yes, sir.
Besides the $35 a month to sponsor a child for 10 months over the school year, what school supplies, books, what things you need, what can in kind?
Right. Well, we receive all kinds of school supplies. We recycle a lot. So our parents will take used paper from a notebook. Well, we use the pink paper. We sew them. So any kind of school supplies, basic school supplies, because we do give our kids all the supplies, all the uniforms, all the backpacks. We get all of that each year. And as they go through the year, we give them the other materials that they might need. So we're always in need of school supplies. We always in need of anything that you might, have for office. Sometimes we clear our offices and we have things that we no longer want to use. We recycle. We use a lot of recycling.
This may be a stupid question, so I apologize, but how about technology? What type of technology do you have access to? I mean, you're talking about paper, I understand, but do you have computer capability in the school and whiteboards and things like that you could lever instead of?
The thing is that we do have a computer lab and we have 12 computers in there, and we do have internet, but our internet can be gone. Like this May and June and part of April, 2 months and a half, we had no internet. We're furthest from the furthest from the last antenna. We get it only by the grace of God, and really by the grace of God, they told me that there's no way we should be having internet. So that makes it a little difficult. Plus, Mexico still runs the paper.
So maybe one of the projects we could work on is working with a Rotary Club in Juarez to put up a tower. I don't know how expensive those are, but maybe we could think about doing something like that. Because with technology, your opportunity just grows exponentially. So.
Right, because all the curriculum that comes from Mexico City, or the whole country runs in the same curriculum, the same basic established procedures. You see in the news when they say, oh, the technology, all the kids are getting tablets. Well, there's only chosen 3 states in the whole 36 states of Mexico that get this technology, that get all of this. They're chosen because they said those are the poorest of the poorest, but they forgot the north, which is us, Chihuahua, and Sonora, and all of us over here. And so we don't get any of that. So yeah, the news, it sounds like, yes, Mexico is doing all this. And they require us, because our junior hires, when they go to junior high, they're required to do work with computers, but they don't have computers themselves, or we don't have internet, or, so.
I'm gonna be talking to Maria about starting an Interact Club, where the kids can then communicate with all of our clubs out here,
We would love that opportunity.
which I think would be a great opportunity, but then again, it's internet connected, and we'll do the best
But
we
if we
can.
can make it work, we can always go with our club to a cafe out of the city, out of the community.
Russ, maybe Bob can just talk for 20 seconds on why it's called the
James R. Ganley School?
Yeah, I think it's important.
Well, I'll defer to Maria, but,
Well,
you know,
maybe
the Touch the World was the organization behind this. I should say the ground roots, a lot of volunteers, a lot of other Rotary clubs, a lot of churches, a lot of schools got involved with this. James R. Ganley was a fellow who died very young, and his family, in his memory, decided to support a big part of the construction of the school. Maybe you want to talk about that for a moment.
Yes, he was 22 years old, and he suffered depression, and very smart young man, and he left everything. He had a job in Wall Street, left it, came back to Wyckoff, and just decided to take his life one day. And so the family was devastated, but at the same time, Jeff was able to minister to them, and he worked with Fox Sports Pan American Mr. Ganley, and so he worked in the area of Mexico, and asked if there was something that was being done in Mexico, and we were just planning on this school, so it came right time. But in his memory, we give this into school, but it also has helped us to tell our families, tell our kids, and tell other people, especially in Mexico, what's the name about depression, and it allows us to share that, and it allowed us to realize that kids can suffer depression, or at least I didn't know that, and now some of our kids that are at school do suffer depression, but we're able to help them in that because of the foundation. Yeah.
One final word, Touch the World is still a connection to the school. Jesse Cruz, if you know who he is, Bob Klingen's son-in-law, is the CEO of Touch the World, and if we're able to garner donations of school supplies, we can get them to Touch the World in Allendale, and they can get them to Maria down at the school in Mexico.
Terrific, Bob. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wonderful.